Iris. Only her.
Everyone, settle down.
Mother, what is this about?
Please. I'm asking nicely.
You're nervous.
Green sister. Fix her.
Or is that
Or
just the youngest sisters?
Or of like the firsts. Because there's the eldest, and then, yeah, perhaps. That's the broken secretary as well. The middle is fractured.
Just sit down.
Is this about your sleepwalking?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the first ones.
Will you let me explain? We are going to have a communion. Yes, a communion. All together.
What is that word?
I want to share a memory with you. Something special to me. Something special to my mother. A place from a long time ago.
A place on the surface? With humans?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Now, close your eyes. Closed? Yes? In 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
Message received.
Year 7.
The theme is back.
So,
Hence the blindfold.
Yeah.
you finally found a way out. What is that place we keep seeing? An ancient human city. It keeps reoccurring everywhere. It's an obsession. Does it still exist? In what sense? I don't know. In any sense? I believe that's up to us. I don't know where you end and I begin. It's messy, isn't it? We've been in here for a long time. Longer than I've ever attempted. But now, you've seen everything I have to show. These last fragments were what Principal wanted to hide. They needed to be seen. We'll never get anywhere by tampering with history. After this, I want you to understand. This communion will no longer protect us. Time will march forward, and we must confront our sins. Let's go. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I learned a thing or two this time around. So did I. We need to change. Together, then? Into the future. Move? What's going on?
You?
Sleep, dear one.
What the
Oh.
fuck? Know her. What did you do to her?
Straight to judgment. You haven't changed, little sister.
Was Capital red? That wasn't mauve, right?
That was mauve.
That was mauve.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
They walked in.
Done. Yeah, okay.
Her eyes. What happened to her eyes?
I did what I had to do.
Come on your feet. I'm here.
Baby?
The days get shorter, don't they?
Baby? Is that really you?
As me as I'll ever be.
Secretary! Don't forget Secretary!
I've got them. Don't worry.
Baby, your arm.
She's blind.
You really took your time.
You said she would be safe.
She's breathing, isn't she?
That is not what I meant.
No thanks? No acknowledgement? You're the one who's obsessed with this whole bloodless encounter. Taking your sweet time, everything in its right place. Don't you understand by now? Someone will always get hurt. That is the reality. You're lucky she still remembers who she is.
Was Noah running the option select? Was
Playing
she
on both sides.
Was she playing both sides?
Yeah. Like, well, let's see who the winner will be.
Oh, you finally made it. Cool. It took you long enough while I was preparing for a, like, principled future.
Oh, screw you. Fuck.
Let's go, BB.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere. Things are in motion, okay? We'll be in touch.
Wait,
Oh, you want to thank you? Well,
attend to me.
what do you mean?
Make it look convincing.
Yeah, she's really playing it. And if there's no one there to witness except Mauve, and she's dropping the shit she's dropping, like, anyway.
Your wrench. That should do the trick.
Are you doing okay?
You know me, sister. I'm doing what I must.
Yeah, you're better at that than I am.
You've always been...
You could have let her finish. Hurts less when you can't see it coming. Besides, I hate when she gets sentimental.
I mean, the fucking least of what you deserve, but alright, we'll settle with a wrench for now. Yeah. Hard to say, but definitely seems like running the option select on that. Like, let's just make sure both sides think I'm on their side.
Yeah. Who's gonna win?
While I set up my own side. Hey, Blue. Broken secretary.
Oh. She rises.
Healer.
Good. And your name?
Watcher.
Try again.
Blue.
Better. And where are we?
On the train, clearly.
You missed the ending. Birthday party. Youngest gift.
Well, aren't you all sorts of something?
I really want to know what the yellow fucking secretary is called. It's bothering me that we don't know yet.
How long was I?
The whole time, sister. Since the beginning.
The beginning? When was the beginning?
Who knows? Who cares? For us, it's only been 8 hours.
You mean I've been communing this whole time?
Look, honey, I'll be blunt. I don't know you, but let me tell you how it looks from where I'm sitting.
The last time we saw Healer was after the communion, and she was complex.
Yeah.
What do you got on that? Yeah.
I think
That was a
when Healer
really-
was standing over like the dead fixer,
Yep.
she was like, "Happy graduation, honey. You look good in green. Sleep well." And Healer was telling Watcher to chill after she was like, "I'm gonna kill them all. I'm gonna rip them to pieces, every last one of them."
And then we were told she died. In a dialogue box. We didn't see anything. We just had that communion with her. And
Is that what happened? Okay.
yeah, it's a
Did she
while
die,
ago.
Or did she just? We didn't hear about her.
Well, did we see her post-attack?
For years, we've been riding this train, working to piece things back together. And then, hours ago, you decided to set off a bomb. In one moment, you destroyed everything we've been working toward.
What did you want with the ministers?
That's not for you to know. I can tell you we didn't want them burnt to a crisp. We knew those sisters. I even birthed some of those sisters.
They turned on you.
Was that a good enough reason to torch them?
I know what I did was...
Please, don't. I am not in the mood, honey. None of us are.
Watcher. I need to see her.
Was that joyride not enough? She's not taking visitors.
She'll want to see me.
Is that so? Easy on your feet there. We don't need another patient aboard.
You sat next to me the whole time?
BB did.
It was very kind of her.
Don't flatter yourself, honey. We didn't know what you'd be like. Terrorist and all.
Okay. I think... Damn. I wonder. Yeah, this game. This game is probably for marathoning, actually, so that you can have it all fresh.
Yeah.
In your brain
Yeah,
instead
we
of.
definitely did ourselves a disservice by
But no, because it's not a 3-hour game or a 5-hour game. It's a longer game, but there's a lot of fine details to keep track of. So it's just like easy to forget the last time you saw one of a giant cast of characters. Blue is waking up on the train she got on after the bomb went off.
Okay, yeah.
But we, the player, split with her in that moment and took control of Watcher. And went back into what happened after Watcher killed Iris, and we spent our last chapter in the downtime.
Yeah, being interrogated, right?
Yes. So, if I'm not mistaken, we left Blue.
No?
No? Okay, perhaps not then. But it's all right. I don't know. I don't know then. We left Blue
communing with Watcher the whole time.
All right, let's keep going for a second, because if it was straightforward, then I guess we both missed it.
They said you were incinerated.
I might as well be. I haven't stepped off this train for who knows how long. I've lost track. What did they get me for? Too many puns?
They said you were running dangerous experiments.
Well, that part is true.
I know. What's outside?
The view. Can't you tell?
Not so great.
You're right. I've seen better.
Are we going somewhere?
Finally waking up, are we?
I wanted to burn it all down.
You got what you wanted. Happy?
I'll be back.
I don't doubt it. Nowhere to go here except back and forth. Back and forth.
Train life. Or they've got replicators on the train too. So I guess they can stay safely on the go outside of the shelter. Okay, so quick recap as to why we're a little confused here, but
yeah,
I know.
Super lost.
I know. We're like it's rough. But here's what I got.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah, I feel kind of bad.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't think you
ahead.
should, because we're here together.
Okay, go ahead.
And fuck the rest.
Tell me what you got.
So I got that we are we're playing as Blue, and we go through, and then we set up everything. We go through the bartending scene.
Mm-hmm.
We get the package. We bomb the play to kill Principal.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the process, the Zhao that's there and the other whatchamacallits, the officials, what's the word?
The ministers?
Ministers, thank you. They
all get killed, yeah.
And so there's collateral. and then we
we're trying
escape.
to escape.
And then we escape down into the train station. When we get down to the train station, we have a moment where
Fixer shows up.
exactly. And does it cut to the? Is that a flashback at that
BBF
point?
tells you get on the train, you get on it.
Thank
and
you.
Fixer's
Yes.
there.
Regularly, BBF is standing in the subway.
Yeah.
You are Blue talking to BBF. BBF says get on the train. We get on the train, and then on the train we see Fixer.
Yeah.
We see Secretary,
Uh-huh.
and then
Secretary is like, okay, it's time to reboot.
it's something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then we do, and does it? What happened? Do we zoom out and see Watcher, or something indicates Watcher is there? I forget the specifics of that exact sequence of shots, but we get on the train. Fixer gets up close to us, does the reboot, and we see the Secretary, and then something occurs, and then we are now either controlling Watcher, or we're looking at Watcher, or Watcher's there.
So Secretary calls for a communion reboot.
Yes. Okay.
It will be unpleasant. And then chapter 7. And then we see flashbacks of the past and the future. And the mother calling grandma.
Right.
And then Watcher is in captivity with Knower and a blue shell watching.
Okay. Now the Watcher in captivity with Watcher in captivity, we know is after she stabbed Iris, so that's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to think about where that goes in the timeline or so. That I understand that whole sequence of her being jailed is is not Knower interrogating and fucking her up over the course of this new age beginning, right? So we covered the last chapter of just like the post Iris, after all Mother Age of the rise of Principle. That's all there. It's more just the moment that Blue gets on the train and then that communion reset moment occurs. I think you and I are both unsure as to who we are, what that is, and what to make of that. So now we're waking up as Blue in what appears to be after that bombing occurred. And so that's why I just said, oh, I think we're Blue after the bomb, after we got on the train.
So I'm seeing Secretary reboots Blue's communion since Blue was already in it. That scene of talking to blindfold Watcher is Watcher directly addressing Blue as the one experiencing the communion. And the flash forwards to Blue would be impossible for Watcher in the cell to see, since it's the future to her. Okay, but it's the past to Blue? And this is the present after the bombing, okay? So chapter 7 was a communion, not a flashback.
Okay. So
the bombing was a communion of what had happened, and now we're in the present. So when we were playing as Blue, it was not the present; it was a communion.
that was my impression.
Okay.
Because when we got on and we were all fucked up, that it sounded like that communion was that's where that big reveal was like. The words that they used at the end of that train scene were like, oh shit, we just experienced a communion, that whole new era.
Yeah.
And I guess what we didn't know and what I was just questioning was, I'm like, oh, are we still playing as Watcher, communioning with a new character, Blue, in this future world?
It was Blue experiencing Watcher's experience, right?
Are you talking about
when we see Watcher in captivity? You
I'm
mean?
not talking about captive. Okay, so here's where we're getting a little lost here, and you know what? Might have to clean this up in YouTube. Let me just take a little note here. 133.
I feel like it's okay. Just keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I am not. Okay. I am putting a stop on the moment we're going to the captivity. I'm not talking about captivity, right?
Okay. So the explosion and the bomb, the cake bomb.
Yes, I think that the narrative is my guess on the narrative was we are controlling Watcher, communioning with Blue, and seeing what Blue is seeing until she gets on the train.
At which moment?
During the whole controlling of Blue. When you wake up as her and
So
she's having memories.
That can't be Watcher because Blue is in the future.
Blue is in the future.
So we can't be controlling Watcher watching Blue.
Yeah, okay. What I do, okay, so to back up with no, like, because we've seen more things.
Yeah.
At the time, the last thing we knew of Watcher was where I was following. The last thing we knew of Watcher was she went missing, she escaped, she killed Mom and she escaped.
Yeah.
And then she had posters on the wall
Right.
saying she's
a traitor.
She's a traitor.
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't know where she wound up, and then when we went on the train,
And at that point, we were Blue, right?
we're Blue.
Yeah.
So after she's having those memories like of the past haunt her, right? Those little things. So when we got back on the train and it was like, oh shit, the old characters are still here fighting from outside the system, and they had a plan and they were on the train, and hey look, Secretary's there. I was like, oh, did Watcher also reconnect with them and they're all acting out a plan here that involves like communioning with Blue, who's inside the city, who like sets up this whole thing that kills Principal? I don't know, but when you get into the train, there's clearly a moment where whatever was happening, communion with Blue, they rebooted, something went wrong. And so I was like, oh, our perspective is that whole arc as Blue was a communion, right? And so I'm just going like, well, I assume that that's the character we've been playing as for the whole game, right? Then cut in the narrative. Time, forget the communion. Time jump back to Watcher immediately after killing Mom, escaping, getting caught. And then we just go through a narrative retelling to show you of her getting tortured in captivity. And then eventually getting blinded, and then we hear her getting freed by her sisters.
Yeah.
So we know that eventually Bang Bang Fire and Fixer save Blind Watcher.
Blind Watcher.
And then we see Blind Watcher talking to Blue just now, saying that we have to go into the future.
So that was all a communion.
The blind the interrogation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense if that's Blind Watcher showing Blue what she went through. That I can follow that.
Yeah. So
I can follow
feel
that.
like Blue is seeing what Watcher went through.
Yeah, that all checks out. And then now we're back to being ourselves.
Back to being ourselves for real for the first time?
Or no, like
was it all Blue? Like if the captivity scene is also a communion of Blue seeing what happened to Watcher.
Yeah.
And then how far does it go?
I think I understand exactly why we're confused, and because it is confusing, and because we're playing with the idea of characters jumping into each other's visions, but there's also narrative cuts that are not characters. Let me just
rewind selector.
Chapter 6 is us, the waking up as Blue for the first time is Blue, like someone, I think Watcher, but I might, and this might be the part where it's a contention point of argument, right? I think when we wake up as Blue, my understanding is that we were potentially Watcher from the outside, communioning with this new character. And then when Blue eventually gets on the train, after the explosion, she's all fucked up, and then they have to reboot that sequence, right? Maybe that's not what happened, but I was trying to understand what that was, and that's what my guess was. And then I thought we cut then.
Okay, so as you wake up as Blue in Chapter 6 in the Hong Kong city, you're like, what is going on there? Right? Well, you know the white shell? You wake up?
Blue, yeah.
Blue?
Yeah.
That's the moment where you're like, what's going on? Right?
No, it's the moment we get on the train.
At the end.
and at the end of her section, and switch over to Watcher's interrogation chapter. That's, I think, the confusing moment that we're kind of stuck with.
Okay.
Because we're discovering now that was the beginning of Blue, of Blue communioning with Watcher, so that Watcher can show her what she went through.
Yeah.
But right before that, were we simply just Blue on our own, walking onto the train, getting plugged into Watcher's memory, or was that the inverse? Was that Watcher communioning with Blue, and then that fucks up, and then they do the reboot, and then we switch to the inverse happening, where essentially one is seeing the other's memories, and then they get on the train, the reboot happens, and then we switch to two seeing one's memories. That's kind of what I think is the confusion point here.
Okay.
Right? I think that's what my understanding was, is that Watcher was watching Blue, and then we get on the train, the switch happens, and then now Blue is watching Watcher.
Is it possible that Blue was just seeing her own stuff?
When she woke up as the first, and that we were not in community?
And
yes,
we were not?
100%. That's possible too. I could be super wrong about this.
And then before that, we were Watcher, and could it have been Blue watching Watcher?
Oh, for the beginning of the game?
From the beginning of the game.
That is potentially there. I'm not even playing with that right now. We got to finish the game to figure out if that's the case. If that's the case, if the whole video game has been your
just
Blue,
bullshit.
Yeah,
And
that
seems like
that's very, very possible.
Yeah, it seems like that might be the case.
Okay.
So this is the first time that we're actually really in the present, in this point on.
So what then? So that if that's the case, if the whole game has been a communion,
what's real?
No, it's not even about what's real. Well, now is real. And that scene of her saying, "We have no more communions, this is what it is," to tell you makes sense, right? The gravity of that makes sense. The first scene we get introduced to Blue in, what is that? If that's not the present, what is that? Blue communioning with herself? What exactly is that? That's just her living through herself? You can communion with herself. It's her own memories. That's where this got confusing.
Yeah.
Right? Was because the shift over to Blue now, you would think would be like, oh, it's happening, but it's not. You know?
Chat, just one information. I think I saw somebody say that in the initial scene of the game with Watcher, Blue was there. And I forget about this bit.
Oh, I mean, I am almost... Okay.
At the very beginning, but I'm forgetting information we've seen in the past. Do you remember that?
No, I don't, but I promise you there's going to be a million little things where, if you know who this character is by the end of the game, they were there from the beginning or whatever.
But if it's something... Okay, so there were two Blue characters next to each other.
Yeah. I'm not trying to figure that out because we had no context and we're not supposed to know. I'm only stuck on what we're supposed to know. Anything we were not supposed to know, I'm like...
Yeah, but like, even if we didn't know, did we see something? You know? So...
I'm sure tons of it. I'm sure... I'm so sure that, like, tons of shit that we couldn't have known was right in front of our faces from the jump that I don't even care.
Yeah. For sure, absolutely. 1,000,000%.
I don't even...
1,000%.
I don't even care because I know that's the case.
1,000%.
I'm only trying to figure out what you're supposed to be... what you're supposed to be aware of in the present. That's it. Not even the clues, you know? And if we're just taking this as the whole game is Blue living Watcher's memories through communion, I think it's very... If we're going to go... That chapter where we get introduced to Blue is also a memory, right? And then we leave that chapter and go back into Watcher, but it's still a communion. I think it's extremely understandable why that makes the whole thing confusing and why we got lost here. Right? Like,
so this is like episode 1. Do you remember that bit?
yeah. Yes, I do.
And it's like on both sides it says Watcher. So I was confused by that. It seems like you see like
Sorry, Reggie's just showing me a shot here. I'm gonna unplug you.
yeah, sure.
Yes, the whole talking to yourself bit.
Yeah, and I was like, what is going on there?
Uh-huh. Yes, I do remember that. I remember when we were first meeting these characters.
Okay.
In the intro is walking along the train station. We saw
Yeah, and then we see like all the frozen characters along the path.
and we were just talking about how they looked because we
were
didn't know
cool.
anything about
We didn't
them.
know anything.
And then we eventually get up to Mother, and then we stab Mother, and we're like, oh shit.
But that was before even.
Oh yeah, no, before stabbing Mother. Before stabbing Mother, we saw a bunch of frozen other characters that looked like us.
The stabbing of Mother happened before seeing the other characters.
Oh, okay. I got the order wrong.
Yeah, so
Okay, we stabbed her, and then we saw all these other characters that we didn't know,
Yeah.
and then we went into the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So all of that's what I'm talking about. Where I'm just like, I
don't care about that, yeah.
I don't care. We're not supposed to know. I don't care. You know, unless you're insanely psychic and hanging on to and writing notes. Because the game started, the conversation starts with Iris praying, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as you press start, Iris is praying. So that's all fine. Not to say that I'm like, that is a head fuck, totally, and holy shit, wow. But the confusion of the present is a much more pressing issue to me.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with this part. I'm sorry if I'm not following you on that part.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
So
Yes. It would have probably just the fact that we switch off of Blue. Sorry, we switch off of Watcher over to Blue. Hold on, you're looking at the intro again.
yes.
Okay, that's what.
Watcher, you stole our immunity.
Mm-hmm.
You condemned us to this life. ...
What are you trying to?
Why do you get to choose who lives and who dies? And then turning around,
Yeah.
and then there's someone.
And there's
behind.
someone else standing there, and we don't know who it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not Principal.
it's not.
Yeah, we see her turn around. We see a character in white standing behind her there.
And I
it's-
guess this is
Yeah, and that's Blue.
this Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Great. Now we know that's a cool thing. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Back to the present,
Okay,
please.
all right,
Please.
okay,
That's cool.
I just.
Yeah. Head fuck.
Yeah.
Mind fuck, for sure.
Yeah.
Intended.
Yeah.
Game is doing it.
Yeah.
This problem right here. We have never been Watcher. We have always been Blue. We switch off of Watcher over to Blue to watch her kill Principal. We escape.
Wait. We switch over to Watcher. Or
Game starts.
yeah.
We have never truly been Watcher. We have always
But we
been
think
Blue.
We are a Watcher.
We think we're Watcher.
Yeah.
We have always been Blue,
then
living
progress to, like,
Watcher's memories.
Stabbing Iris as Watcher.
We have been Watcher, not knowing that we're truly Blue, right?
Yes.
Then the moment where Watcher escapes after the occupant attack,
Yes.
we switch over to Blue's memory, waking up in the underground.
Right.
We get on the train. We go back to Watcher. And not only do we go back to Watcher, we go back to Watcher before Blue's scene could have happened.
Yeah,
we go
yeah.
back in time.
Yeah, we go back to that moment. Yeah.
This little moment here where you do this
Yeah.
fucks us up
Yeah.
and sends us off of a cliff. Sends us spiraling off a cliff.
But you felt that it was like, okay, we're going back to previous events, right?
I felt like we were going back to previous events.
So it's going back to previous events, and that's fairly clear.
Yeah. So.
But it definitely like messed up like all the wiring, and it was very hard to latch onto something.
For sure. If you wanted to pull anything up, I would say pull up the getting on the train scene.
Yeah.
And if we rewatch that, we'll know what's going on.
Okay.
You know what?
Give me 30 seconds.
You know what?
I'll give you the moment.
I'm about to.
All right. So you're about to pull it up.
I'm about to pull it up.
So
I'm about to. Yeah. Okay. I saved it.
Episode 19.
Yeah. Give me the timestamp.
50-50.
Give me the fucking timestamp.
Episode 19 at 50-50. The police hits it, and then like Red Shell is pointing a gun at Blue.
Yeah.
That's the moment.
Because we're cracking. We are cracking right now.
You know, I think it's fine. Personally, I'm enjoying this.
No.
They are too.
It's for good reason.
Like, oh!
It's for good reason. And if you're just like, you fucking idiot, whatever, I'll just get the fuck out. Leave. I don't want to talk to you. We're trying to like this because this is a deliberately confusing narrative for tension purposes.
Because this moment is, that meme of the guy with the girlfriend and the looking at the other gun in the back. I'm holding 13 Sentinel's hand, and I'm looking at 1000 like, ooh, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
So now I'm all about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We have never truly been us, right? That much is clear. What is interesting is just the moment.
Episode 19.
Yeah, the moment they decided to it's like it would have been a clean bookend, but it got messy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that I got lost.
Yeah.
Because chronologically, right? Watcher escapes, gets caught, gets interrogated, gets freed by her sisters.
Yep.
Then
they plan a whole bunch of shit.
And then Blue does what she does.
Yeah.
Right? Chronologically. But those two chapters were played before each other, fucking us all up. Understandably.
And we saw Blue escape after setting up the bomb, but what did we see after Watcher stabbed Iris?
We saw Blue
Principal
escape.
Came through, and she was like, "Yeah, this is what I wanted."
Sorry. Blue.
When Iris got stabbed by Watcher.
Yes. Principal came through. Yeah.
Did we see exactly what happened in between that moment and the moment of captivity?
No. So what we saw was Principal came out and said. She basically got up close, and Iris and Principal had that moment together where she called her Mui Mui.
Yeah.
And then immediately Principal was like, she talked as if she knew what was going to happen and gave away the game. And then she turned to you and went, "You're a traitor. You've killed our Almo."
And then we're running through the waters, and then the doors
came out and surrounded us. Yeah. And then it's like, you have to escape. And so we locked on to an observer. The lock-on points.
The lock-on shits and
the lock-on points, which we have discovered are occupants. We have been locking onto occupants. That's what those things are.
Or at least like the imagery of it, yeah.
I mean, they're the same.
Yeah.
But we locked onto a grappling hook point, and we grapple hooked out of there. And then we landed back in we came back to the base, and everything was horrible. And then we talked to Knower, and then we grappled away. Out through the ceiling.
Okay.
And that was the end of us playing as Watcher.
Okay.
The water filled up and flooded the whole bunker, and we ran on top of the water. We spoke to Knower. Knower said there's nothing worth getting burnt over.
Yeah.
And then we flew the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so Episode 19?
50 minutes.
50.
50, yeah. We see the cops at 50-50. At 50-50, BBF saves us.
Okay. We're going to go back in time for a moment. I wouldn't be surprised if this takes us right to that shot of like everyone reaching all the way up to Parliament with the Okay, here we need to stack. Here. Let's increase. We can go further. We can go further beyond, Reggie.
It's fine.
Oh!
Move. You coward. You're just gonna run away?
Okay.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
We are communing right now with ourselves. This is the present.
Hello.
Over here, down here, they don't know. Up there, they don't know. We are here. We know now. They didn't get it.
The return.
We're getting it now. So you can shoot.
Shit. You. Get on the train.
Does he know? He doesn't know.
Get on the train.
Bang Bang says get on the train.
Mm-hmm.
She's also wanted. We get on the fucking train. What do we see? When we needed her most.
Yep.
Oh, how foolish. Oh, how naive.
Mm-hmm. And then you see the leg, you see the arm, and you're like,
Cyber
oh, what?
leg. Behind her? Okay. Bang Bang Fire is fucked up. She's been fighting the war. Whatever happened. It sounded like she lost her limb in freeing Watcher, is what we're just learning now. Right? Or maybe? I don't know. She gets into the room and then Watcher goes, your arm. A minute ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so who's this? Is this Blue walking in with?
I feel this is Blue with just the red lighting and shit.
But Secretary's next to them.
Yeah, remember, like we wake up from the explosion and Secretary is like, "Hey, wake up! It's time to go."
Secretary leads us to the train.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is us walking back onto the train. Oh, she's
Arm as well.
She's fucked up.
Hey, are you going to tell me what's going on?
Talk to the boss.
Talk to the boss. Here comes Fixer. Mm-hmm. Yup.
Who the fuck are you?
Fixer doesn't know who Blue is.
And what are you doing blowing shit up?
Fixer has no idea why Blue just did that. Fixer does not know.
This is bad.
How? We're looking at a memory of an umbrella on the train. We're looking at the fog of the memory of the Hong Kong protests.
Merging a bunch of memories.
The memories
together.
are merging together. This person isn't real.
Been in here for too long. Good thing I finally caught up to you.
Secretary has gone through puberty. We cut to Blue.
Yeah.
Blue doesn't know what's happening.
I don't know.
Her memories are all fucked up.
Get it together.
She's been communing too long.
Stay with my voice.
And it's like it's going back to Watcher, to Iris.
And Blue experienced Watcher going into Iris.
Yes.
Blue was watching Watcher go into Iris's memories.
Okay, yeah.
Deception.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. It's going to be okay. You'll be fine. Just adapt.
I love the puberty. I love the voice drop.
Can't.
Then we're looking at Mom.
Which we also experienced.
Which I never...
Everyone, I
Okay,
guess.
so I never understood how we were experiencing
wait.
Clara.
It's true. We didn't go into her body.
No, but we did see her and Dad's memories of the protests.
Yes.
And we did see her talking about it.
Yeah. And we saw them fighting and getting beat up or whatever.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of instances of that. And I think that's where I'm like, is that just a like narrative like choice to show you these memories of you know, mom, because mom wasn't a part of this system? Or is it simply occupants being aliens, being able to communicate non-verbally with people, can show you other people's shit as well that are emotionally tied to you, right? Is her mom, is Clara view at all just occupant related tech? Could be.
We can't go
She's not part of the control timeline.
back.
That's it. I'm rebooting the communion.
We can't go back. I'm rebooting the communion. It's going to be unpleasant.
Ready or not.
I'm rebooting the communion that you are having with Watcher. The communion you have is blue.
Communion with Watcher.
Blue to Watcher.
Yeah.
I am rebooting the blue to Watcher communion.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Memories bleed together.
And here we are.
We wake back up.
Watcher doing a communion the entire time.
And you hear me? And you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that whole chapter one? Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And then everyone starts going, yes, 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 yes. But no! But no! Because everyone's going, yes, 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 in response to the question.
But the question
it's
is
not
ambiguous, because if you ask that question, yes, Watcher is having a communion with Blue.
But who is the observer? And who is the observee?
That's where...
Right?
Yeah.
So when I ask that, I am saying, was that the character we're in control of, Watcher, the protagonist of the video game,
up until that point,
jumping into the body of a new character for one chapter to experience this future now that she's out of the system? That is my line of questioning, not knowing what just happened, because we are in control of Watcher, right? And so, here, now, we are standing and realizing you were just like me, try to change history. No. And so now, we're like, okay, that's all been Watcher vision. Blue is the actual player, right?
Yeah.
So far. Because, I mean, technically, I mean, like, realistically, narratively.
And honestly, at that point on in time, I was so lost.
Yeah. And to be, and like, as far as themes and like what emotional resonance with the characters, as far as that matters, when you're Iris, right? It doesn't matter that you're playing Watcher, observing Iris. You're Iris. You're experiencing her memories. You're living her times. Her fighting with her mom is her fighting with her mom. Her being mean to Zhao is her being mean to Zhao. And you're experiencing those parts, right? But just for the details, right? We wake up and experience Blue in her normal life, but the explosion of killing Principal fucks her up. And then Secretary has to reboot the communion with Watcher, because that was Watcher's plan, is to communion with Blue to give her all the memories. Right? Which is also thematically...
And I assume, like, if the sisters came to save Watcher for real while she was in captivity, they're all in on it?
Yeah, so it would seem. But Nowhere is not, because Nowhere's full of shit.
Yeah, Nowhere is playing both sides.
But the other sisters are all in on saving Watcher from Principal after she took out Iris. And, you know, trying to show the next generation your memories was exactly what Iris just did. You know, she's like communion, she shared, and so that's now Watcher sharing those memories with Blue. And you get to see the core of it, which is like memories of Hong Kong, you know, way back at the origin point.
So nobody died from this crew, right?
No, none of the original
BBF alive, Fixer
that was
alive,
all a lie.
Healer alive,
all a lie.
Yeah.
All the main 5 sisters from that we know from the jump are all there. That was all bullshit. Even though we were told everybody got incinerated. Akuma level shit. Never killed anybody.
Yeah.
The only person dead is Iris, quite frankly. And Dad, and obviously the 50s and Mom and the world. The whole world, actually. The whole world is dead. But not the 5 sisters. The Super Sentai team, the Sailor Senshi, they live on. I guess my only remaining question as we look at our own communion is... Huh. Right? Oh shit. With someone like in the future? She's communioning with someone in the future? Is that what I'm asking?
And Fixer's still around.
And Fixer's not dead.
Okay.
So how far back does this communion go to?
Well, it's more along the lines of I think time is still where it is. It's just
Nope.
we are Watcher communioning with someone
Yeah.
in that time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and the words being used can be termed.
Oh my god. That's insane.
That's crazy. And the words being used can invert their perspectives. But are you Bruce Willis camera or Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
Whose camera are you? Because it's the same perspective, but the only thing that matters is whose camera we're following. And I'm asking if we're following old Bruce Willis. And you're like, you're right. It's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Okay, that was wild.
Like, I guess we didn't see Fixer die.
She left, right?
No, Fixer?
Yeah. On the train?
She burnt. We gave her up. We snitched her out.
She got incinerated.
So Lies.
We were told.
Bullshit. Nonsense. Okay. And so we do this sequence with the mother calls, talking to her grandmother.
Her grandmother, yeah.
And then at the end of these grandma calls, we wake up as Blue.
Yes.
What fucked up the communion was Blue. Okay, we still don't have the full story.
No.
But we're almost there. Somewhere in the timeline, Blue detonates the bomb and her communion gets fucked up by it, which Secretary then reboots.
Mm-hmm.
If just give me a second. If the present tense, as far as we are just learning now, right, is, and if we're not supposed to know, that's fine, right? We'll get there. If the present tense is the black room, where Watcher is, imagine Watcher beaming her memories into an unconscious Blue, right? Like that moment where Watcher was essentially like, "Hey, you got it? Now we got to move forward in time."
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is like, is communion? When we're learning about communion from Iris talking to the occupants and everything, we're finding out that time is all fucked up and 1,000 years can pass in a second, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So,
time is warped in some fashion. Yeah.
Is Blue still in communion with Watcher when she plants the bomb?
I think Blue might be seeing her own visions at this point.
Okay.
And she's still within the communion with Watcher because Watcher appears at the end, right?
Okay. So, let me rephrase. Not present day Blue. Is Blue...
Present day Blue being on the train right now?
Present day Blue is being updated on the whole video game. The Blue that is in the memory, right? The Blue experiencing her own memories of planting the bomb.
Yeah.
That moment, does that occur? Where is she? When does the communion occur in that moment when Blue's walking around planting the bomb?
I guess Watcher could be watching as the same. Like, if Watcher is communing with Blue, Blue's also communing with Watcher in a way?
Because I guess what we don't really know is, do you have to be... I mean, it seems like you have to be next to the person to communion with them, but we don't know if that's for sure. We don't know anything about that details. That's
I don't know.
That's irrelevant, I guess. But it's not irrelevant, but it's more like we wake up as Blue with an understanding of time that stops at Watcher's escape, right?
Okay.
So when we wake up as Blue for the first time, we have all of Watcher's memories, but we don't have the interrogation yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, so that Blue is that's not real time? That's memory time when we wake up as her? Because we're watching our own memories?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Yes. I hope I'm not wrong.
So then when could that Blue in her own memories, like memory Blue, because let's say there's real Blue and memory Blue, when could memory Blue have done all that and known and gotten all that information if we're in the middle of receiving the information?
And the information that you're talking about as Blue is her learning what Watcher did?
Yeah. Because
but throughout the whole Blue area, people are talking about Watcher did anyway. Like, she should have that information. Like, Watcher's already a traitor. Watcher...
But I mean... She's talked about having strange dreams where she wasn't herself. And the scene where she wakes up, she seems to be implying that, like, some of what we just played was, like, running through her head. Right? But we don't know exactly where that Blue, memory Blue... Like, we don't know where that is or what she's experienced or, like, what amount she understands up to that point. But I guess my question is the Blue, memory Blue at that point, does that memory Blue have any of Watcher's communion knowledge yet? She has to have, because if...
And you mean the Watcher being tortured memories, right?
Not the Watcher, no, everything before that.
Before the stabbing.
Yeah, before the stabbing.
I would assume so.
Because if she gets back on if Memory Blue gets on the train and then Secretary is indicating that, oh shit, I have to reboot it, that implies that Secretary is saying that you were already in communion and it's currently failing.
Yeah.
Therefore, that Memory Blue must have had some of Watcher's memories up to that point, but just not all of them.
Yeah.
And then the rest is the interrogation.
Yeah.
And now we're in the present.
After the reboot?
Yeah. So if that's the case, right? This is interesting because I'm like, okay, so let's say everything Memory Blue has up until the reboot is like Watcher 90%, right? Or, you know what, I'm not going to use percentages because that's going to throw off and we're not finished the game.
Yeah.
But we have everything we know about the game so far, and Memory Blue has gotten that through communion.
Okay.
And then secretary says, oh, communion's fucked up. Let's reboot it. Let's get you back in there so that you can get the rest of those memories. We do that. And then we jump over to the interrogation scene.
Mm-hmm.
And now we come out of the interrogation scene and we're in the present.
Mm-hmm.
What everyone is saying is that there is a blue that is real blue that is underneath all of this that has been experiencing
All of that.
this top line here.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, doesn't it make more sense that memory blue and real blue are just two moments outside of the communion time, and the first part gets put back in and then comes out and we're here now? Like, doesn't it make more sense based on what we know that blue wakes up with the communion having, I guess, stopped where it stopped, or we got the limit of the information we have, and then now when they reboot to give her the rest, we're now entering the present? Did I lose you?
I feel like I'm getting inceptioned right now. Okay. So Blue gets rebooted.
Because essentially, to go back to the questions, right? Memory blue
Yeah.
is acting with the communion knowledge that we have of up to that point, which is Watcher escaping.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I'm saying okay because
Okay.
I'm trying to keep
Right?
on going.
That's what we're saying.
And it's like it might be like a fake escape because she's ziplining everywhere.
Right, she's ziplining everywhere. Therefore, there is a point in time where Blue is walking around setting up the bomb plot
Uh-huh.
where the communion has not completed itself. The same communion we're in is also not complete to the
Okay.
character that we're experiencing
Because
the memory
blue
of.
inside and the blue outside of the communion.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So
There's a
we're
blue-
seeing what's happening with the blue inside the communion.
Yes.
And at the same time, that blue is experiencing what the memory blue is going through.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out is essentially the blue that is in the memory. If real
blue that's in the memory is not the blue that we're seeing right now because it's
Real blue?
re-experiencing. Yeah,
It's
the
real
real blue
blue,
because
right?
it's re-experiencing the things
so
that
then
have
how
happened
much communion has memory blue experienced?
at that point.
Is it everything except the interrogation?
Yeah.
And if so,
Because she doesn't know about Watcher in the memory that much. It's just like an outside persona that's like, hey, that's a traitor, right? And she's talking with bartender. Oh, you knew Blue? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Living your life. And then getting radicalized. And then you set up the bomb. And then you go to the train.
okay.
So
So basically,
at
then,
this point, when you go back to the train, it's like the end of the fake memory Blue. But the old Blue, the real Blue we haven't met because that's the one in the present time on the train.
on the train,
Yeah.
and we don't know. I like our assumption was that we're on the train that we got on, but for all we know, this is a different train, a different setup. Who knows, right? We don't know anything about where we are right now.
Yeah.
We still have to play the rest to figure out where we are right now. But the blue in that the memory blue, the blue in that memory, acted at some point prior to real blue learning about the interrogation.
Yes, that was all prior to learning about the interrogation.
But this whole package of memories was still being delivered to a blue on this table,
Yes.
including her own memories of not being on the table,
Yes.
which happened like when, effectively. When was Blue?
With her own memory of not being on the table?
Yeah. Because if Blue's waking up on the table right here, getting all of...
On the train or in Hong Kong?
On the train.
On the train, okay.
When could she have gotten...
The knowledge of?
herself doing other things.
As she's on the table.
And did those other things occur before this whole table communion process began?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they have had to had happen, right?
Because imagine if you have to go to sleep and then get a bunch of memories injected into you, and then you wake up. But when you go to sleep, you have memories that are including things that, like, you would have done. Imagine if within the memories you're getting injected while you're asleep, there's a part of it that is making reference to, like, oh, we have to reboot the memories you're getting. So you, like, in order for the things you did before you got on the table, the things that Blue did before the reboot, she did with some of the Watcher memories inside of her, but we don't know how they got there or when. We don't know. Okay, I figured out the wording. We know that real Blue is waking up after getting all of these memories put into her, right? With Watcher directly telling her, okay, now we have to move into the future. We don't know when Memory Blue experienced communion. If we jump into the real time that Memory Blue was walking around planting that bomb, we don't know when within her lifetime she experienced communion. But she has not been on the train yet, therefore she hasn't experienced any of the new characters or anything. She just lived her life in the basement.
Yeah.
We don't know when the character in the basement living their life experienced Watcher's communion. So that's
okay. So I would.
That's the part
that she did live that bit, but experiencing Watcher's communion was on the table on the train.
Only the interrogation. This is crazy. Yeah. It's deliberately fuzzy right now, right?
Okay.
Because that's the thing is the Blue in the memory that sets up the bomb, we have no idea when in her life she could have experienced communion with Watcher memories. We only know the one that just woke up, and we have a place where we can insert those memories.
Okay.
But the Blue walking around had partial communion memories, but we can't possibly know when. That's it. That's it. Okay.
Jeez.
13 Sentinels is back, baby.
Oh my god.
Just play the game. Fuck you, get out. This is the game. If you don't see how this is the game, I don't fuck with you.
Piece it together.
This is the game.
Oh my god.
Also, mama trauma. Don't forget about the mama trauma.
Yo, mama.
That's one for the history books. Okay, all right. I think we have as much as we can get from the present day.
So as they're saying, real chapter 6 happens and she has 1 to 5. She passes out and replays 6 and 7 in her coma.
I think that's it then. I think that's it, right? So, yes.
So she did live through it, but she's re-seeing it after.
She
and
went.
We're seeing it for the first time.
We're seeing it for the first, or rather, when they rebooted on the train, she experiences
the whole thing,
all of it,
the whole thing,
and then we get out, and now we're here.
Yeah.
But I guess what we don't know and where we got stuck is what did she get up to that point that needed rebooting? Right? When Secretary goes, fuck, reboot her.
Yeah, I feel it's because like the memories were like blending too much.
Yeah.
And maybe like Secretary was like, hey, let's clean that up.
And we're assuming as the player that we know as much as she does, but we have no idea. Right? But that's exactly it. It's just like, how much can we know about what Blue experienced before the reboot occurs? That's the entire question that leads to this batshit nonsense. All right.
Are you good? Do you need a break? I could use a bathroom break.
I could use a bathroom break too.
Yeah.
For sure. All of the like glitching and the Hong Kong and then the past coming back around is like, fucking fix it. Right. But, you know, the Blue in that memory is being told that you've been learning something and it got fucked up. We got to fix it. And now a Blue outside of that memory is looking up and going, oh, there's me where my brain got fucked up and I had to learn about how it had to get fixed.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, cool. What did that memory Blue know? All right. Quick bathroom break. Maybe not. No. Quick break and we'll be right back. All right. Fuck yeah. 1000 times confusion.